What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. And today I want to talk about some concepts that you can use to build your own strategy. So if you are a bit of a beginner and if you don't already have a clear strategy, then this session is going to be great for you. So let's get started. All right, so first of all, I want to talk about what you need to become profitable. And that is two things. Number one, you need an edge. And number two, you need to be able to execute that edge in the live market without making mistakes, or at least minimizing mistakes. And if you can do these two things, then you can be profitable. And it's that simple. Now, number one is getting the edge, and an edge can be developed in different ways. It can be completely mechanical edge, like I trade. It can be a discretionary approach that you've developed for yourself that gives you an edge. But also your psychology can give you an edge. If you have a great strategy with edge, but you're not able to execute it, it doesn't matter how good that strategy is, but if you have the discipline and really the strength to follow your strategy, that gives you an edge in and of itself. But you do have to have a strategy that in one way or the other puts the odds in your favor over the long term. And in today's session, I want to give you some concepts that you can use to basically build your own strategy. And you really want to think about what type of trader you are, because you basically have breakout trading or momentum trading, but you have also mean reversion trading. And that's when you look for reversals to some kind of area of structure or some kind of average of price, those type of things. And you have also momentum / breakout trading, which is what I do. Is where you look for a breakout of some form of structure, and then you play that momentum of the breakout. So for example, there's this range, and then you have this breakout, and then you play the momentum of the breakout to the upside because you expect an uptrend to develop. With mean reversion, you look for, in my opinion, key swing points to look for a reversal, such as this swing point, and then you look for any type of reversal setup here to target the next area of structure. So determine what type of trader you want to be. Do you want to hop in on the flow of the markets as soon as a breakout enters? Do you maybe want to wait for a retest, or do you really like to trade reversals? Generally speaking, if you trade a breakout, the odds of winning, or the odds of having a higher win rate, I have to say, are higher. And generally speaking, if you trade reversals, your win rate is going to be lower, but your average R is going to be higher. Now, there are, of course, lots of different ways you can work around this, but that's in general the approach to this. If you've been watching this channel, you know how I approach breakout trading. I want to see a false breakout of a range and then a clean breakout of the high of the range, breaking above structure, and then I buy the breakout. I don't wait for that retest. So if you want to trade breakouts, there's two ways. You either buy the breakout at the high or you wait for the retest. And depending on your personality, but also what works best for you, you choose which one you are going to do. And if you choose to trade breakouts, I would say test both. Have a similar target and test what the performance is if you enter on the breakout or on the retest, and see which one works best and which one you like best. I noticed that if I wait for a retest after the breakouts at the areas I trade at, I noticed that I tend to miss the trade opportunity. The price tends to move straight to target without retesting the area. But on the other hand, on average, markets do like to retest. And if you can get in here with a smaller stop loss, your risk reward ratio is going to be way bigger than if you buy on the breakout. So if you want to be a breakout trader, test two types of entries, a retest entry and a breakout entry. Keep everything else the same. So your stop loss and your target, then you can see which one performs better. And also, if you enter at the retest, you might want to test different confluence factors. Let's say you have this range and then a breakout and then a retest. You might want to test, all right, what if I only enter if there forms an engulfing candle at this area? What if I enter at the close of that engulfing and put my stop below there and target that same area? What would happen then? You basically want to take one concept, so either breakouts or reversals, and then you want to test different types of approaches within that concept to see what you like and what performs best. Quick tip for people that want to trade breakouts and want to wait for the retest. You want to really test the last bit of structure before the breakout. So you want to test a retest of this area, but you also want to test what if you enter here, because price tends to hit that target and then go up. So hit that area and then go up. Price tends to move to the last bit of structure formed before a breakout. So that's it for breakout trading. If you're going to look for reversals, you really want to be trading at key areas in the market. Now, what are key areas? Key areas where price aggressively moved away from. That's over here, for example. Look at that. Price hit this level and immediately rejected. Same here. Price hit this area and immediately fell down. These are key levels to look for reversal trades, in my opinion. Same here. Look at that. Price tags that area, just breaks above it, and then falls down. This is also another key area. So you really want to develop a strategy around those key levels, and you can do that in a discretionary way, but you can also add an indicator. Let me change that color real quickly. So there you go. This is the zigzag indicator. It's just free for everyone. And then you can see that it automatically highlights the most important swing points to the markets. So then you can basically ditch that discretion and just trade around those areas. For example, let's say you wait for price to hit a daily key level like this one, and then you go to the lower time frame and look for a certain setup at that level. And that's how you can approach it. So let's say this is that daily level, then you wait for price to go there. And generally speaking, you want to look for a break below and then a close above that level. That usually highlights a reversal. So key area at a key area, key level, at a key swing point, and then you want to see what happens. If it's a level below market, you want to see a break below and a quick aggressive close above, because that highlights that if there was any liquidity resting below that level, it has likely been absorbed by a bigger player that wants to buy. So that's something to keep in mind when you look for these type of trades. Again, as you can see, it also does this on the hourly. You can also change the settings for the zigzag indicator. You also might think, all right, I'm going to draw these levels myself. It's totally up to you. But that's the general principle behind it. So I'm going to remove this indicator right now. There we go. So I want to give you another quick example of that breakout concept I spoke about. Here we have a range. Then we have this violent breakout, and it hasn't been retested yet. But look at this. This is the last bit of structure before the breakout. Look at what happens when price takes it. Immediate move to the upside. And this happens over and over again. So you really have to think about that one if you're going to trade a breakout and a retest. Look at that. We've got another example right here. This is the level that most people would be trading. This is the last bit of support price made before falling down. Look at that. If you entered here, you immediately went into drawdown. If you entered here, the drawdown was way less and it's now rejecting. Now, I'm not saying this is going to fall and shit the bed, but I'm saying that if you are a bit more precise at those types of areas, usually you get a better risk reward ratio, but it's up to you to test out. So now it's time to take action for yourself. If you are a beginner and you don't have a real strategy, choose which one you like, breakouts or the reversals, and start backtesting. Start developing some rules that you can test. Go back over the past year, 2 years, and start testing that scenario and see what happens. See if it performs well. And please do it manually, because if you do it manually, you will see certain things happening over and over again that can help you to increase your edge. For example, when I was backtesting my strategy, I did notice a few things. For example, if a certain pattern happened before my mechanical setup happened, the odds of winning increased. If my mechanical setup triggered at a certain area, the odds of winning increased. And you don't know that if you program and do it automatically, but you do know it if you take the time to backtest manually. So that's also something I want to give away to you, that if you're going to backtest, start manually, and then you really get a feel for a strategy. If you're not sure how to approach this entire thing of building your strategy and testing it, below in the section below this video, there's a link to a free system development course that I did with the prop firm BlueFX. And there we go over step by step how you can get started with developing your edge and your strategy. So go there now, watch the videos, start backtesting, and start developing your edge. But this is really the only way. If you don't test anything and you just learn from someone that says he trades smart money or like a bank or whatever the fuck people use these days, if you just take their word for it and start trading it, you will lose money. This guarantee. You really need to test it for yourself and see what happens. So hope you guys learned something from this. If you have any questions or if you want to see a video about a certain topic, let me know, and then I'll speak to you in the next session. Thanks, guys.